You hear the words backup and replication thrown around all the time, right? A lot of people use them interchangeably, but here's the thing. They are not the same, not even close. And knowing the difference, well, it could be what saves you from a total data disaster. So let's clear this up, once and for all.
Let's kick things off with a number that should really make you sit up and pay attention: 6%. According to researchers, that's how many of us lose our data every single year. Just think about that. All those photos, those crucial work files, years of your life just gone.
And that leads to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? When, not if, but when it happens to you, what's your plan? How are you going to get that data back? Because honestly, hoping for the best isn't really a strategy.
And the threats? Oh, they are everywhere. It could be your hard drive just deciding it's had enough. It could be a nasty virus or some malware. Heck, it could be something as simple as shutting down your computer the wrong way and corrupting a file. Or, something bigger like a fire or a flood. And let's not forget the #1 cause of them all: good old-fashioned human error. We've all been there.
So, how do we fight back against all this chaos? Well, our first hero in this story is the one we all know and love, the backup. The absolute best way to think about it is as a time machine for your data. It's your insurance policy. It's what lets you hit rewind when things go wrong.
So what is a backup, really? It's pretty simple. It's a copy of your stuff that you've put somewhere else for one specific reason: to restore it after you've lost the original. The keywords there are restore and after. A backup is all about recovery. It's your rainy day fund for data.
Okay, so the most basic type is the full backup. And it's exactly what it sounds like. You take a complete copy of everything, all of it, at one specific moment in time. It's thorough, for sure, but as you can probably guess, it's also the slowest and chews up a ton of storage space. Now, to get a little smarter about it, we have the incremental backup. This is way faster and uses less space because it only copies the bits and pieces that have changed since your last backup, whatever kind that was. These backups are small, they're quick, but there's a catch. And that catch comes when it's time to restore.
And that brings us to the happy medium, the differential backup. This one is clever. It copies everything that's changed since your last full backup. So each differential backup gets a little bigger than the last, but it strikes this really nice balance between speed and simplicity when you need to get your data back.
And this is where the rubber really meets the road. Look at this. To restore using that speedy incremental method, you need the last full backup plus every single little incremental backup you made since then. It's a long chain. If even one of those links is missing or corrupt, you're out of luck. But with a differential restore, all you need is 2 things: the last full backup and the most recent differential backup. That's it. Way simpler and a lot less that can go wrong.
Okay, let's switch gears. If backup is the time machine for when things go bad, replication is, well, it's like a live, identical twin for your data. Its mission isn't about recovering from the past. It's about making sure there's no downtime in the present. It's all about being available, right now.
So let's break that down. Replication is about keeping multiple, usable copies of your data running, often in different places. And notice the language here. We're not talking about restore or recovery. The magic words are consistency and availability. We've shifted from a historical snapshot to a living, breathing copy. And the reason you do this is huge. We're talking about high availability, making sure your website or your app literally never goes down. That means it's fault tolerant. It can even boost performance because users can grab data from whichever replica is closest to them. It's all about making sure the data is there and ready to go no matter what.
Now, replication basically comes in 2 flavors. Think of it like this. Synchronous is like sending a package that requires a signature. You write the data and you wait until you get confirmation from both the original and the replica that the data is safe before you do anything else. It's guaranteed, but it can slow you down. Asynchronous is like dropping that package in the mail. You send it off and trust it's going to get there, and you immediately move on to your next task. It's way faster, but there's a tiny chance the replica might be a few seconds behind the original if something goes wrong.
All right, it's showdown time. We have our 2 heroes, backup and replication. They both involve making copies of data, but they are on completely different missions. And getting this straight is absolutely critical if you want a data strategy that actually works.
This chart just lays it all out perfectly. The goal of a backup, recovery. For replication, high availability. A backup is a picture of the past, a point-in-time snapshot. A replica is a mirror of the present. It's live, real-time data. That means getting data back from a backup can take hours, maybe even days. But switching over to a replica, that can happen in seconds. So here's the bottom line. Backup is there to help you restore after disaster. Replication is there to prevent downtime during one.
And now for the twist. Just when you think you've got them in two separate boxes, you see a quote like this. The experts at Precision Bridge point out that a backup is really just a specific type of replication. Think about it. It's a copy of data replicated to another location at a point in time for the purpose of recovery. This little idea completely reframes how we should think about their relationship.
So, with that in mind, the whole backup versus replication debate kind of falls apart, doesn't it? It's not a choice. You don't pick one over the other. The only way to build a truly robust, resilient data protection strategy is to use both of them together, leveraging each for what it does best.
Here's the simplest way to remember it. Replication is for continuity. It keeps the lights on, minute by minute, day by day. It's your instant failover. Backup is for recovery. It's your last line of defense when something truly catastrophic happens, like a ransomware attack that encrypts your live data and your replica. You need that clean, historical copy to go back to. They are partners, not rivals.
So what can you actually do with this information? Start with the legendary 3-2-1 rule. It's simple, it's effective, and it works. 1. Keep at least 3 copies of your important data. 2. Store those copies on at least 2 different kinds of media, say your computer's hard drive and a cloud service. And 3, and this is the most important one, keep one of those copies completely off-site. That way, if there's a fire or a flood at your location, you still have a safe copy somewhere else.
And that leaves us with one final question for you to really think about. Look at your own critical data, your family photos, your company's financials, your creative projects. Is that data just copied somewhere? Or is it truly protected with a strategy that uses both replication and backup? Because as we've seen today, there is a world of difference between the two.